yes, it is time to address those videos. My physical performance.
小腿的地方而已吗？
对啊。And my language performance. 我听不懂。安静嘴啊 The insane level of hate I got in the comments.
Allan 欺骗教官 ，Allan 不面子不去敲钟。
And whether or not I'll be invited back for season 3. 100% sign me up.
不要再参加。
So yes, as you may or may not have noticed, there was a lot of controversy in the comment section regarding my performance in the video series, but what there's not a lot of controversy about is the comfortability of my Emma mattress. And during the military series, I had a few hours to sleep on a military style camper bed, where I certainly noticed the difference from my Emma mattress and didn't sleep at all. And I was incredibly happy to get home to my Emma mattress and pillows, where I think I slept for a solid 16 hours straight after my 48 hours in military hell. And for those of you that haven't heard this before, the reason that Emma's mattresses are so comfortable is not only down to the multi-layer foam that supports my somewhat oversized frame in all the right places, but also the breathable mattress cover that allows air to circulate freely around my body as I sleep during the hot Taiwanese summers. And yes, of course, this is obviously a sponsored video, but I want you guys to know that I only accept sponsorships from companies with products that I absolutely believe in and that won't disappoint my viewers. And with Emma's 100-night sleep guarantee, you can be sure that if you don't enjoy your mattress as much as I say you're going to, you can send it back to them for a full refund. Right now, Emma are having their early bird 11/11 sale, where you can get as much as 50% off the cost of everything on their website, and with the code Allan at checkout, you can claim an extra 10% off the total of your purchase. There's a link in the description down below and in the top comment, so go check it out if you're interested in improving your sleeping pattern. But as for now, time to get back to the video and back to my online shaming. But of course, before we get started and get my reaction to the videos, I want to say a huge thank you, first of all, to all my teammates, the camera crew, the production crew, the instructors, medical staff that were on standby the whole time, the medical staff in the hospital, and of course, one of the biggest thanks goes to my buddy Ku, who actually risks a lot and puts his neck on the line for the risk of bringing you guys an entertaining, enthralling series to watch. It's some of the best, most entertaining, most enthralling content that you will see. But my video, this video, is gonna focus a little more on the emotional challenges and how the whole 48-hour experience and the online fallout that occurred as a result of it has affected me. So if you're one of the almost 3 million people that watched the first episode, you'll have seen how it started out very light and jovial, meeting up at the train station, and on the journey from Taipei down the East Coast, everybody was all smiles, laughing and joking, getting to know each other, reacquainting ourselves, until that first was screamed at us. And if you watch carefully, you'll see the first time that it screamed at us, nobody reacts. It was so loud and piercing, we didn't have a clue what he'd said. Even the Taiwanese recruit Jianbao, who of course speaks Chinese, and if you look very carefully in the video, you'll see that he's the first one to react, and then we all followed suit. And this was the kind of theme for the weekend. Lots of instructions being screamed at high volume in our face, very intense. Lots of dunsha, chili, pasha, and also lots of misunderstandings.
加油看去 Allan 心不在焉来你去跑一圈
which we're going to get into a lot later. It got me into a lot of trouble.
混蛋
But what did I expect from this series after taking part in the first series? Well, I knew it was going to be something different. When Ku gave me the call to invite me, he didn't tell me too much, but he did say it was going to be a little bit more intense than the first series. I had lost about 5 or 6 kilos in the few months coming up to the start of the filming. So although I'm not in great shape, I did feel like it was possible that I could kind of get through and scrape through. And of course, I knew I was going to struggle much more than the others, whether they had age on their side, fitness on their side, or experience on their side. I had none of these, but I just wanted to attend. I wanted to be with my brothers. And one of the major reasons for accepting the invite is because I know Ku, my best mate, putting on this huge series. It would be crazy of me not to attend, not to support him, and not to be a character in one of his videos. So yes, the training had started, and the first thing we had to do was change our clothes while lying prone on the floor, which I thought was hilarious. The Topher completely ignored this. He hadn't understood the Chinese and he wasn't watching what everyone else was doing. He was just changing his clothes.
我没有叫你站着，来，所有人起。
But one thing I want to emphasize is that all of the things you're seeing are absolutely real. There is no setup, there are no retakes, no acting or pretending. Everything was as intense as it looks on camera and probably even more intense behind the scenes. But yes, the first exercise was crawling through the muddy water.
匍匐前进。
And a lot of people have said how it smelled like dog. Someone had said that the instructors had gathered poop and put it inside the water.
嘣，大片呐、
I didn't notice that, whether or not I'm not as sensitive as others to the smell of dog poo. But I do know that the water was very thick and viscous, and it really covered my eyeballs and immediately left me kind of disoriented, off balance, and really uncomfortable. But again, this exercise, I kind of did it as best as I could. Not as fast or as efficient as some of the other guys, but again, I knew that I was there to push myself, so got it done, and then on to the bus. This was intense.
所有人举手。
You can see it on everybody's face, the anguish, the pain, the suffering, and we're all thinking, this is just the bus ride to the training, then what the hell the training is going to be like. We all had no idea what was yet to come.
我他妈的，我干嘛？
So anyway, the bus arrived at the main location we were going to do the training, which was some community center.
下车，混蛋！
And this is the first time that we had a little bit of a run-in with each other,
蹲下。
where I was squatting down and my knees were already starting to hurt. The pants were really tight and I shifted my pants, and when he asked me what was wrong,
黑人你干嘛？
I think I said, sorry, 不好意思. And then I found out there is no 不好意思 in the army.
没有，不好意思，所有人趴下。
There shouldn't be a reason to apologize. You just have to follow what you're told to do.
趴下，起来。
And yes, he decided that this was going to be the first opportunity to invite me to ring the bell, grab me by my rope, smack me into the door. It didn't show very well, but I remember hitting the door quite hard.
你已经把你的队友已经用成了好几次了。
哎
啊，你要不要敲？啊，
And there is just no way I am going to ring that bell.
你要不要敲？啊。
Doesn't matter what happens, I am not going to ring that bell, no matter what they say. Yes, it may be stupid. Yes, it may be irresponsible. Yes, it may be disrespectful. But in my mind, the whole weekend was do not ring that bell. Don't have 1 million, 2 million, 3 million people, plus your family, plus William, watch you ring that bell. It just wasn't going to happen.
你们是一体的，知道吗？
But of course, the really negative part of this is that while all this is going on, they're making my teammate lie down on that hot, scalding tarmac and really ringing my guilty bell. But you can see in my face, I'm already tuning out. My eyes are going different directions. I've got no emotion on my face. I'm just zoned out, trying my best not to quit. And should I have quit at this point? It might have been a good idea just to quit and let the video go on without me. But as you're going to see later in this video, there are some real problems I have with being told what to do.
还行，那你为什么都不能帮忙？
我帮忙啊。
你帮忙什么？
But yeah, possibly this is a time when I should have thought about quitting because I was already starting to feel this is too serious. This is not good for a middle-aged, out of shape attitude problem. Probably is a fair thing to say. Guy to be taking part in. So yes, we're getting to the end of episode 1 already, and again when we went down to the running track to do some basic animal exercises, that brings me to the first major event in the video that really got me a lot of criticism online. It was a hot, sunny day. We weren't wearing any shirts for some reason.
黑人，膝盖不要碰地。
I was completely hot, drained, exhausted. I had a little bit of tunnel vision. I just said to Koo slightly under my breath. One of the English-speaking instructors overheard it and told the main coach, who asked me.
你刚才跟他们讲什么？你跟他们讲什么？
Again, I just said 我的荣幸来这里。
错，你讲什么？不要糊弄我！
And I lied. 我说来这里是我的荣幸。
不要糊弄我，我听得懂英文。
Honor and truth and respect is one of the major fundamental factors of being a soldier, and I'd completely destroyed all of those, and I'm very grateful that he didn't kick me out.
再给你一次机会，一次，就一次。
好，
你下次再犯错，就是直接离开，有没有问题？
没问题。I should have respected that for the rest of the video. I should have looked up to him and really been thankful to him. But as we'll see later in the video, this still didn't happen. I still didn't follow the party line, so to speak. 骂的什么？
啊？
But to the instructor, I wholeheartedly apologize for lying to you, to your face. Really shouldn't have done it. Really should have protected myself, kept the honor and respect of the Taiwanese military by telling the truth. And I didn't do that. And for that's something that I do regret at that time. But I was just not with it. I was not thinking clearly. I was hot, exhausted, No excuses. I'm not going to give excuses. I lied to somebody to their face when he was just trying to protect me, and I feel really bad about that. That's something I should have thought about more clearly, but I apologize. But anyway, onto a more positive note and a more beautiful scene. One of the most beautiful scenes of my life in Taiwan.
我们现在要开始吃饭。
When me and Ku were feeding each other, the happiness and the relief of being able to sit down next to your best mate, feed each other, which is something you would never do after the difficulty and the struggle and the embarrassment that I've just been through. Still being accepted into the team, still being considered a best mate by your friend, to be fed with each other. It was just unbelievable happiness flooding through my body, and I just let you know, it wasn't all bad the whole weekend for me. I did have a really good life-changing experience. So then after lunch, we got fully dressed again, got our guns and went through some military exercises with the rifles. And then we did some battlefield advancement movements. A team set, B team go! Which again involved a whole lot of squatting down, and which is where again the injury started to come. Oh my God, this video is just me getting injured the whole time and just not giving up. I can really see, and I could see when I watched the video, how frustrating it must be for people to see this guy. Whether you're a fan of mine, a hater of mine, indifferent of mine, then you must just be like, just give up, Allan. Support from the sidelines, be the water boy. It must be very frustrating to watch. So I do apologize for making people frustrated and people that care about me getting angry with me for not giving up. But here is where I had my first interaction with the medical staff that were amazing. They were there in a second as soon as I cramped up. Oh my God. The muscles and the joints in my right leg really did just give up. My calf cramped, my knee seized up. The cameraman, who was also my good friend, he asked me, are you going to quit?
You want to quit now?
Get the out of here, bro. No way.
You okay? Really?
And my response again is too arrogant. It's like a little bit dismissive of a friend who cares. And also at this moment, you've got Ku coming to check on me again. Just what you need at that point when you're feeling really weak. And in fact, it wasn't just Ku. All of the team came around and looked after me and put their arm around me. Made me really feel part of the team, even though it was obvious I was certainly on the outsides of the performance levels that were required. So then the next phase of the weekend was the orienteering, the land nav and the map skills. But again, my performance levels in this part started to dip and I was on the outside of the physical realms of what was possible for my body. And then things got really, really bad for me.
Allan，行不行？要上车。Allan，天宝，你有伤兵，你要不要让他继续走？
You can see at one point while we're all trying to squat down and protect the map readers that it's impossible for me to bend my legs and kneel down. So I just kind of collapse onto the floor and I'm still in denial about whether or not I can continue. Still determined to keep going and still determined to support my brothers. In fact, I'm actually holding them back. But yes, we soon get into finding CCY and rescuing him. This is when I lost it. I completely took my disrespect from the afternoon and leveled it up. 我帮忙。
喊进嘴啊！妈的！
妈的什么？
啊？
你说我妈的吗？
顶嘴什么？
And whatever personal issues I have with authority, I should not allow that to affect the authority of someone like that instructor who has earned it, that has been through much tougher things than me. He's faced adversity and he's trained his body and he's trained his career to a level where he deserves respect. And at that moment, regardless of what I understood he had said or what I thought he had said, I should have accepted his command and I should have pulled myself out to protect myself and protect the team and the integrity of the Taiwanese military and the level of respect that guy has earned. Now, at this point, I also need to talk about my level of Chinese.
你听得懂中文吗？
My Chinese is incredibly weird. 大部分听得懂。
骗我，你听得懂吗？
我听得懂，可是我不是故意的，不是没有故意骗你，我就是不要离开。I have a relatively good vocabulary. I can read and type a lot of the Chinese characters that I put in my subtitles, but for some reason, I cannot use tones in Chinese. I can mimic people very well. When somebody tells me to repeat after them, 睡觉, I can repeat 睡觉. Then I can't remember the tone in future. I can't tell you if that's first tone or fourth tone. If you speak to some of my Taiwanese friends, they'll tell you they have great conversations with me, maybe not the deepest, most political or philosophical conversations. And the situation that got me into most trouble was basically a Chinese misunderstanding. I didn't hear him say "tamada." When he said "mada," I assumed he was directing it at me. From my warped sense of understanding, got it wrong and took offense to it. My lack of understanding, my lack of colloquial Chinese got me into a lot of trouble with the instructor and with the online community. But as for my level of Chinese in the video, it just wasn't good enough, and I apologize. But then yes, we walked back to the main base where our beds were, and we were going to be put on sentry duty. But when the medical team looked at my knee, they decided the only thing that could happen right now was being sent to hospital for a full check.
Good pain. Oh yeah, here you go.
How尴尬. And then when we got to hospital, the doctor told me the only thing you can do is rest, and you certainly shouldn't be doing any military training, any serious physical training. And then he sent me back to the main base to get some rest. But then the next morning, when everything was starting again, you can kind of see me that I'm trying to take part, I'm trying to not give up.
待会 Allan 你等一下不用跟着走。
But Ku actually came to me, sat next to me, gave me a big hug and said, listen bro, not only is your health important, we also have to think about the production and the level of integrity and how people will look down on us for putting you in such a dangerous position. So with that being said, I took the doctor's advice, took Ku's advice, retired myself from the activity and felt like an absolute loser. I felt so bad. I felt such a failure. For all those people that were watching, for all my family and William, I tried my absolute best and pushed myself as hard as I could. Harder than I've ever had to do. I've had some videos I've had to film and edit and worked hard on my career, but physically demanding tasks, this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do, and wish that I'd prepared a little better for the series. Oh God, I didn't think this would be so difficult. But anyway, yes, that brings us to the final episode, episode 4, of which I'm not actually in that much, but I want to congratulate my teammates, my brothers, for an amazing performance on that riverbank. Extra big congratulations and well done to my mate Prozzy in this point. And on that riverbank, crawling through that shit, being screamed at for a lack of proficiency in Chinese when you've actually got not a bad level of Chinese.
学中文呐，听不懂。
I was surprised Prozzy just didn't just take off his helmet and yeet out of there, because I was expecting him to just quit. But he did it, so well done to Prozzy and to everyone who went through that. But that then brings us to the final exercise, the passing out ceremony.
最后一个项目就是心性测验。
Which I feel was really unfair on Jianbao. I know he'd hurt his hand, he'd really hurt his finger quite seriously.
你没办法做，那你到这边来。
But I still think he could have done it, and he showed an amazing level of respect to authority, which I didn't. When he was told he should pull out, he didn't bat an eyelid. He just followed the instructions, took himself out of it, and was really upset.
就是现在想想还是会觉得有点难过。
It was really felt like he'd let the country of Taiwan down.
就台湾代表嘛，就觉得怎么可能可以说退出呢？
But that was me. God, that's really made me think how guilty I am to Jianbao and to the country. Oh God, there it comes again. Jianbao did an amazing job, represented Taiwan perfectly. Well done to Jianbao, and I think you still deserved to take part in that last passing out ceremony. So yes, the videos all came to an end with handshakes, hugs, apologies.
我要跟大家说声不好意思啊，这2天讲话跟一些口气。
A group of men that had been through something intense together.
没有不好意思。
An intense 48 hours with 8 recruits, 2 or 3 instructors that we hated for those 48 hours, but it ended with handshakes, hugs, and sincere apologies. And most importantly, apologies that were accepted with smiles and gratitude and a level of decorum and grace that I didn't show at certain times throughout the weekend. Really, really happy that I went. I'm really happy that I went and could learn something about myself and really introspectively look at myself. But I guess the big question is, will I be going back for season 3? Well, if Ku has anything to do with it, I'm sure there'll be an invite to take part in some way. But don't worry, I'm probably not going to be doing anything incredibly physical or putting myself through such an intense experience, because I think I've shown in this series that I'm just not physically or mentally capable of keeping up with guys that are 10, 15 years younger and have looked after themselves much better than I've looked after myself, which is evident when the shirts came off. But I do want to thank Ku for inviting me this time and apologize for bringing a little bit of negativity to the videos. I know comments are water off a duck's back to a lot of us. The comments did hurt me a lot. They made me really look at my performance and think about it deeply. And I had a couple of teary phone calls to Ku that week, thinking that the whole of Taiwan thinks I'm a piece of shit. And you may still do, you may still think so, but I just want you to know that I tried my best, and I let some personal issues get in the way of what should have been a very respectful situation, and I let myself down. As I said, a more emotional reaction than pragmatic reaction. And also, if you want a more analytical, pragmatic breakdown of the challenges and things that we went through from a former US soldier that compares some of the drills that we went through with drills that he went through when he was serving, then definitely go check out Topher's amazing video if you haven't seen that one already. But I hope you've enjoyed getting to see what I was thinking, see what I was feeling at certain points throughout the video. And if you have any comments or things that you think I didn't address, then let me know and I'll address them in the comment section. Thanks again to everybody that was involved in producing this series, and thanks to you guys for watching it. Almost 3 million views on the first episode. It's one of YouTube in Taiwan's biggest produced video series. The production levels are just off the charts. It deserves awards after awards. But yeah, I think that's enough for now. Thanks for watching. As for now, and as always, I'll see you next time in My Life in Taiwan. Peace. Bye-bye.